Alton Towers Resort is known across the UK as the UK's best theme park for families. It has a wide versatility of roller coasters, from rides such as the Smiler being there for big thrills, and rides such as Bluey, Here Come the Grannies, and Octonauts Roller Coaster Adventure for families. Today we're going to be ranking my top 10 at the Alton Towers Resort. Starting off in an honourable mention is the Smiler. This doesn't quite make it to my top 10, but it's in an 11th place. The reason I put it here is it's not my favourite, although it is for some people. It's definitely not up there in any means in my favourite roller coaster that I've ever done, but it offers a very fun experience. 14 inversions being the most in the UK and in the world. Not being beat since 2013. Ride manufacturer being Gerstlauer. It's an amazing ride. I really enjoy the Smiler. I think going down after that first inversion is absolutely amazing. It's so intense, and going up that second lift hill and the LSM launches in the middle, it's an amazing experience and a very good ride, but doesn't quite make it to my top 10. Moving on to number 10 is Hex, the Legend of the Towers. Based on a local legend, and it is local, it's a real legend, you can search it up. The tree there is real as well. It's based on the legend of the Earl of Shrewsbury and the Chained Oak. So, if you don't know the story, I'll summarise it a bit. So there was this man, the 13th Earl of Shrewsbury, Charles Talbot, and this old beggar woman. He asked him for a coin and he declined. She set a curse on the man. For every branch of the old oak tree that fell, a member of his family would die. And this is where Alton Towers extends on the story. The branch falls off and the Earl brings the branch back to the towers to use some scientific experiments, and that's what Hex is. It is the experiment. And of course, Vekoma Madhouses along the lines of Villa Volta at Efteling, The Haunting at Drayton Manor are my favourite type of rides in the world. I love Vekoma Madhouses, and I think that they are possibly one of my favourite experiences that you can get at a theme park. But it doesn't make my top 5, but it is a very good ride and a very good attraction. Moving on to number 9, we have 13. 13 is a Mack Rides multi-dimension coaster, and it's very good. It's very good, and it's not Mack. Don't quote me there. It's Intamin, sorry. It has the world's first drop track. Merlin and the world's first, you know what I mean? It has the world's first drop track, and even though it's only 16 foot, you really cannot tell. It's an amazing drop track, and it really does get people. I love going into it. And hearing people go, oh, it's time to get off, and then we drop and they scream. Then of course you go backwards after, which is amazing. 13 offers a really good thrill for family, and a really good ride for thrill. It's just in the middle, in between the two, so it's a good family thrill coaster for everyone to enjoy, and that's why I love it. It really makes up the Dark Forest area as well. Moving on to number 8, we have Galactica. This is the world's first B&M flying coaster, and originally opened in 2002 as Air. Air was a good ride. It had good theming, but unfortunately did not get the theming it was supposed to get. If you look at early concept art, Galactica was supposed to get some amazing theming, but unfortunately it never did. In 2016 it was rethemed to Galactica and given a VR dedicated theme, which really did not stick. It did not stick at all, but that's why I'm so glad they removed the VR, and yet again Galactica is how it used to be. I love the intensity of it. When you're going on that upside down bit, it's amazing, but not as good as the pretzel loops on Mako or like some other rides. But Galactica also offers a very fun family experience, family thrill. It's fun for everyone, but you need to be 1.4 to meet that height requirement. I love the ride. I think it's very enjoyable, and that's why it has a place in my top 10. Now, only going across the street, we have Nemesis Reborn, to be precise. I do prefer the 1994 version over the 2024 version. Nemesis Reborn is a very good ride. Not as good as the original, which opened in 1994. The one in 1994 was amazing. Of course, 2022 they closed it, all got retracked, and yeah, Nemesis Reborn opened along with the rest of the new Forbidden Valley. I love Nemesis. It's a very good attraction, but nowhere doesn't make it in my top 5, but it makes it in my top 10. Very intense, that's the word. Also, it goes very well with the terrain that it's in, because it was dug in a ditch. That's not like a real one, that's handmade. All that which Nemesis goes in is handmade, and that explains why there's so many rocks around the area, because all them rocks which you see were from that digging of the Nemesis pit. It was used by making dynamite and exploding it, which gives it that natural look. But overall, Nemesis, very good ride, and that's why it's in my top 10. Yet again, going down the road, the Curse at Alton Manor at number 6. This is, well, a very, very good dark ride. Of course, it was Jewel in 2022, and before that, God, going back, it was the Haunted House. In 2022, at the end of the season, it closed and was remade in the span of 5 months. And you can tell, 5 months they've done a lot of work, and they worked fast. Most of the animatronics that were in Jewel were very old and opened and were like first shown in the 1992 version of the ride. So, of course, they got to the end of their operating life, and new animatronics were installed, as well as new scenes, new props, new sets, new everything. Curse of Alton Manor is an experience in itself. Of course, it had the amazing overlay for Christmas this year. That was brilliant. And overall, I think that Curse of Alton Manor is a very, very good attraction, and hope it stays at the park for a lot longer, which I'm sure it will. Then, getting into my top 5, and in number 5 is Rita. Of course, Rita gets a lot of hate for it launching and not doing much, but that's what I love. It's a good ride. It fits in with the Dark Forest a lot more than it did when it was Ugland. Of course, when they opened it with Ugland, it had its own theme, Thunder Rock Rally radio playing around, but it wasn't a very good fit in with the area at all. I also think that Rita in itself is a very enjoyable experience. Going from 0 to 60 that fast is really fun, and really like one of them where you're like, whoa, because you're going that fast in that short amount of time. Of course, people will compare it to the likes of Stealth at Thorpe Park, because that is, yes, faster, taller, but Rita will always have that soft spot for me personally, and that's why it's in 5th place. Moving on to number 4, and quite a controversial one, is Spinball Whizzer. This one I do not see on many people's top 10. Spinball Whizzer is a very, very fun Malra spinning coaster, opening in the 2004 season alongside its sister coaster, Dragon's Fury. Dragon's Fury has overall got the better layout. I'm just going to put that out there. I don't think that Spinball Whizzer has that much of a layout compared to Dragon's Fury, but I'll tell you what Spinball Whizzer does have. Good airtime. Going down that massive hill into the first horseshoe is really good. Like, that is such good airtime. Hops, like, makes you go out my seat, and then you go around for the second time. It's brilliant. You spin a lot more on Spinball Whizzer, I found, than you do on Dragon's Fury. Dragon's Fury I don't see much for spin, but Spinball Whizzer, very good for families. It's a very good starter coaster for families. You have to be 1.2 to ride it, and I think it's the first 1.2 ride you should do. Mainly because Wicker Man, it's faster, it's a lot more intense. Spinball 13, you've got the drop track, but Spinball Whizzer is a really good starter one, and I really do enjoy it, and that's why it's got the 4th place. Now, moving on to the top 3, and in 3rd place is the last major thrill coaster we're going to see on this list, Oblivion. Many people call this the one drop wonder, and not one that you should wait to queue for, but I think the opposite. I think the 13 Oblivion is very good. I love Oblivion. It has one of the most intense drops on any dive coaster in the world, in my opinion. You go up and the drop, you may not see it, but it's 180 foot. Of course, Oblivion advertised as the world's first vertical drop coaster. Even though it's not vertical, it's 88 degrees. So they've lied there, but it doesn't matter because you don't notice anyway. But yeah, Oblivion is 180 foot drop, but people don't really notice that. So you go down that vertical drop into this pit, and people think, oh, when it gets to the pit it just curves down, but it doesn't. It keeps going down for a long time. If you look at some of the construction photos from when Oblivion was being made, you can really see how deep that pit does go and how much of a tall drop that is. There's a clone coaster of it called Dive Machine 5G, and it's in Taiwan, and you can just see how big that drop is, because that's the exact same layout, exact same height, everything. It's just mirrored. But yeah, that's why it's in the 3rd place for me. Now, moving on to number 2, we have the Wicker Man. I love this ride. It's such a good coaster. The most intense out of the 1.2 selection coasters. With the 3 there is 13, Spinball Wizard and Wicker Man. I think it has the best theming and the best theme out of any ride in Alton Towers. Of course, if you don't know the theme, it's about the Bjorn and the sacrifice. Of course, you've got the Big Bob there. But where Wicker Man used to be was the log flume, of course. If you remember going on that, just tell me. I love that ride. I love the flume. But I do like Wicker Man more. Wicker Man is more enjoyable. It's faster. It's more pizzow, more wow. And of course, having the wooden coaster mixing with the fire is brilliant. Alton Towers wanted a wooden coaster for a long time, and when they finally got one with Wicker Man, they delivered. I really enjoy Wicker Man. I think it is possibly the most intense wooden coaster in the UK now that Megaphobia's gone. But that's why it earns a second place for me. Now, Toxicate. I just gave it away. First place is Toxicator. Oh wow, who would have guessed? Toxicator is my favourite ride on park for 4 reasons. Huss Top Spin. Alton Towers hasn't had one of them for 10 years. Toxicator brought life back to the area with Forbidden Valley and the Toxicator Top Spin theme. 2, the intensity. Wow, the cycle which it ran on in 2025 season was brilliant. Like when you go on them loops, like when you're going upside down, you really feel that intensity, and I love it. Another reason, the theming, obviously being on that big elevated platform. When they first sort of announced it was going to be on a platform, I thought, I don't know, it seems a bit sketchy, but it's really not. Being on that platform is brilliant. I love it. That platform really makes experience because you feel like you're so much higher up than you actually are. And the last reason is I just love top spins. I love Toxicator, and I just love the colour scheme of it all. I mean, obviously Toxicator, it sticks out from the rest of Forbidden Valley. A lot of Forbidden Valley is red and black. This is black and a really, really bright neon green, and that's what I love about it. And I just love the soundtrack, the intensity, the cycle. Oh my god, the cycle which it ran on in 2025 was brilliant. And of course, in summer when you got wet on it, wow, it became another water ride at the park. But there we go. That's my top 10 at Alton Towers. Let me know yours in the comments. I'll see you next time for the Pirate Takeover at Alton Towers Resort, and we'll be staying at Splash Landings Hotel. So, from Theme Park Source, see you next week.